Imagine being betrayed by the person you sacrifice everything for. Now imagine finding out that betrayal wasn't just emotional, but physical, financial, and psychological. This is the story of how one woman turned heartbreak into poetic justice, and how her cheating ex went from player to pawn. 12 years ago, I was a young woman juggling two jobs, trying to survive and stay afloat in a difficult world. And then I met Bob. He worked in the same mall I did. He was charming, funny in a goofy way, and gave me attention I hadn't received in a long time. Within months, we were living together. I was lonely, and he seemed like someone I could build a life with. I didn't see it at the time, but I was already making excuses for him. Red flags didn't just pop up. They practically exploded. He believed in wild conspiracy theories, like continents being owned by the Martian government, and refused to admit when he was wrong. But the worst part? Bob was the laziest man I'd ever met. He was unemployed for a third of our relationship, rarely showered, and treated my apartment like a trash bin. While I was pulling double and triple shifts, he was home watching Netflix and playing online war games on my spare computer. He always had an excuse. No car, no buses, no job interviews. And since he didn't have a phone, he used mine. That meant he had access to all communication meant for him. Soon, he started staying up late chatting online, claiming he had to check his game. But I knew something was off. Then he started asking for my car to hang out with his friend, Ben. It didn't sit right, but I let it go. Then came the tournament. He begged to use my car and phone to go win a card game competition. I stayed home, drank a little, and passed out. But the next morning, I woke up violently ill. I was sweating, convulsing, and vomiting nonstop. No car. No phone. No Bob. I eventually crawled to a neighbor and called my mom, who rushed me to the ER. Diagnosis? Antibiotic-resistant C. diff. Bob showed up later that afternoon, pretending to care. But my mom? She saw right through him. As months passed, I still carried the financial burden. He got a job only after I pulled strings. He even brought home a massive TV and sound system without asking me, and worse, used my name on the credit application. Then came the turning point. I had a migraine and let him take the car while I kept the phone. Hours later, it rang. A woman's voice. "Is Bob there?" she asked. My gut dropped. I lied and said I was his wife. She panicked and tried to hang up, but I pleaded with her to tell me the truth. She promised to call me back. When she did, the truth unraveled. Her name was June. She and Bob had dated years before, reconnected through the online game, and had been seeing each other regularly. My car, my phone, my apartment, all used to cheat on me. And then she asked the question that sealed Bob's fate. "Do you have a little silver hummingbird necklace?" My blood ran cold. Yes, I did. My mom gave it to me, but it wasn't in my jewelry box. "He gave it to me for Mother's Day," she said. That was the moment I knew this wasn't just cheating. This was war. We hatched a plan. June would meet me at work. I got my coworker to cover and picked up my car. I stopped by Bob's job to retrieve my keys and talked to the manager about the payment he never made. When I revealed Bob had pawned the rental TV, the manager was furious. That was grounds for termination. I left a message for Bob to meet me at my work. Heart pounding, I waited. Bob showed up, full of fake remorse. I let him talk, lie, spin his web. Then June arrived. She got out of her car with confidence and fire. "Hey, Bob, how you doing?" His face turned ghostly. She laid into him. Everything he'd done, everything he'd lied about. I barely had to say anything. She did the verbal execution. When it was my turn, I simply held out my hand. "Give me the key," he refused. "Not until I get my stuff," so I told him. "Your sister can pick it up, we're done." I called my mom again. She came with my dad. We went to the pawn shop, paid over $500 to get the TV back. Then straight to Bob's work. Manager canceled the contract. As we were leaving, my dad spotted Bob. He walked over, said something I didn't hear, and came back with my house key. "They're firing him," my dad whispered. "Now he's jobless and homeless." I burst out laughing. Bob came back once with his sister for 2 small boxes of junk. Tried to talk. My best friend shut him down fast. That was the last I ever saw or heard of Bob. Today, I'm happily married to my high school sweetheart. We have 2 beautiful boys. And though that dark chapter hurt like hell, I grew from it. I learned to trust myself again. And sometimes, just before I drift to sleep, I wonder, is Bob still out there, camping in the woods, waiting for Martian orders? A girl can dream. Thanks for watching. If this story hit you in the gut, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. You never know who might need a reminder that karma always delivers.
Our AI voice generator is your one-stop solution.